approve this in principle. I mean, what is being asked here is to look at this memorandum of understanding, invite Sean Dillon to come to a council meeting for a question and answer. And because at that point, he will bring a draft operational budget. That's the way I'm reading this, is that if we were to sign a memorandum of understanding, okay, that doesn't commit us to anything, but he will go ahead and develop the draft operational budget to bring to us so that we have that data we can look at. So as I read through this, that's what the report was saying to me. And he'll bring that, and then we determine at that time. We look at the numbers and say, oh, okay, yes, or no.
The last 3 paragraphs are actually what's in. Councilor Scott.
I love partnerships. I'm one that thinks partnerships are of major benefit. I love when things happen, and especially if it saves us money in the long run. However, right now, I still think I think this is a grand report. I think that Brent did some amazing work there. But I think that we haven't even taken a look at the shores yet with the YMCA agreement there and seen that report. I think, yes, we need to invite the gentleman here. I think that would be a good thing. I don't think that we have to approve a memorandum of understanding, have somebody come in and give us the dollar values of what it would be. I think we should see that first before we sign anything. I mean, this report is not going away. It's here.
Okay. Deputy Mayor Day?
Yes, I think I'd like to make a motion then that we invite Sean Dillon to come and to give us his description of what he'd like to do. I think that we have to be cognizant, this is independent of the motion, we have to be cognizant that we spend 23% of our budget already on recreation. So we have to be cautious, and much of that recreation started off as partnerships and things, right? We've had partnerships and then it's grown and grown and grown. So we may have to say, what are we going to remove in order to continue to add new partnerships on? So there is a finite amount of money available to us. What can we financially handle here? And I think Forest and all the other communities, both Arkona and Thetford, have to be included in the entire picture. If we're going to make an agreement with Grand Bend, it's got to be a comprehensive agreement among all of the units.
I'm not sure what the motion is, but I'll second.
Okay,
for
the
discussion.
motion is just to invite Sean Dillon.
We completely destroyed Robert's rules here tonight, but anyway, that's okay. Just on a point of order here. I'd like to know how we went from having a discussion with the Optimist that we were just going to provide clerical support to arrange their scheduling, to now getting into a formal arrangement with the YMCA. I just wonder where that leap of faith came from the Optimist saying, if you'll just schedule our stuff, that would be great. We'll do all the programming and and now it's gone to a partnership that's going to cost us $4,500 just to start. And one of the questions I have in this memorandum of understanding is, it talks about the facility being to YMCA standards. Well, if you've been in that building, I don't even know if it's to building code standards right now. It's in rough shape. So there are some costs that are going to be involved. I'd like to know, what does that mean, YMCA standards? Is the YMCA going to offer programming now? So is Optimus now saying, you know, we're going to enter into this agreement with YMCA, but the municipality is going to cost you? So there's a lot of questions here. So I'm agreeing if your motion is to bring the YM, but I think we need to have some questions before he comes in, so we don't get into the wind turbine thing where we ask him how much and he says, well, I'll get back to you. I think we need to discuss this a little more in terms of going through that memo of understanding and saying, what questions do we have, and then bring him in with that.
So what's the motion?
To invite Sean Dillon to come and provide explanation to us of what the requirements would be of land controls.
And get a further report on.
And to get a further report from staff on these additional comments.
I can answer most of those questions right now. We've been through the building, no cost upgrade, they're happy with it.
Other?
Yeah. Some of the other ones, far off some of the other ones, I can see what else I can answer. I know for sure the building, they won't. They approached Lambton Shores after reading an article. That's how the leap of faith was made. Right.
There's also a question about, it says we're responsible for systems. Is that all the internet?
Yeah, It
No,
just, yeah,
because-
similar with what we have for the shores,
Computers.
just provide them with access to the system so they can do their programming and do their work.
So we don't have to provide computers or
No.
servers or networking or
No.
anything like that.
That's right.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, to Brent, the question I have then what is the role of the Y here? Are they
The Y-
trying to expand programming to offer it much like they do in Forest, because it's not a gym, it's just a room?
They'll take on, basically what the Optimist was doing before, so they'll step in as the actual facilitator of the program, look after booking the trips for the kids, running the day camp, doing all the on-the-ground programming, all the administrative work that the Optimist was formerly doing, and the Optimist came to Lambton Shores and requested us to do.
See, I find that fascinating because you're the former president of the Optimist Club. Isn't that the role of the Optimist Club, to work with youth?
Yes.
And it seems to me they're just throwing it off. From the discussions we had in the fall, or I had with them in the fall, where we were just gonna provide a clerical role, and they were going to continue with their mandate of working with youth, and now it's like, oh, we found someone to do it, let's,
No, and I think, when staff met with the Optimist face-to-face, their intention was for us to take on that role of being the project, being the program coordinator and planner, that we would step into their role because they were having an issue with staff turnover where they weren't getting that consistency.
see, they changed from the time I met with them then.
But they're gonna provide the funding, the majority of the funding for the program on an annual basis.
That was a change.
Councilor Owen?
Well, I mean, we obviously need to hear from Sean, we need to
Yep.
hear from the Optimists as well, and have that discussion.
Okay, that's what the motion is. All in favor of that?
Could you read back the motion?
It'll be cleaned up a bit. Invite Sean Dillon of the Y to have further discussions on the proposal for the Grand Bank Youth Center and the requirements of Lambton Shores.
Okay, I'm good with that.
Could I just add one thing, because the summer season is coming up and that's their heavy time, would it be prudent of us to send Brent our questions after reading the memo of understanding around hidden costs, around what type of program they're gonna offer, so that when he does come, is that okay?
Sure.
Yeah, no, I was just suggesting,
being
this is
preparatory.
really an initiative of the Optimist Club of Grand Bend.
Yeah.
And we're looking for a way of facilitating them reaching their objectives. It seems to me that they should be talking to, at the table, not the YMCA, saying,
Yeah, that's what we want.
we want to put on this program, we think a partnership with the YMCA might help us achieve that. Because it's really the YMCA is just saying, anybody needs help.
Well, but it's costing us $4,500 for their deal.
Well, that's why the optimists need to explain and rationalize why they think it's a good idea. I can understand why they think it's a good idea,
Sure, it's a great idea.
but I think it's an optimist, it's not a YMCA initiative that they're trying to,
Yeah.
get into our marketplace.
Who's first? Councilor Scott?
When they came here and presented to us, they were very clear that they wanted secretarial work. They wanted to be able to track the programming, not do the program, or not give up the programming. Optimists are friends of youth. That is their first requirement. They can lose their charter if they stop doing things with the children. So it's mandatory that they're doing things with children. I mean, a charter is a very important thing. You just don't get it back really easy. So I'm kind of curious as to how the Y got in this. Where did they find out about the Optimist meeting?
And they went, yeah.
So if it's amenable to the seconder, we can, I do think it's helpful to have all the parties, stakeholders
Yeah.
there present.
The
So the
Optimist here as
Optimist,
well.
representative of the Optimist as well as Sean Dillon, that would come and answer
Okay.
questions.
Probably as soon as we can, because if they're doing programming and this is what they want, they'll be able to.
Okay. So we have an optimist then, the Y, come and talk to us. All in favor of that? Carried. Thank you. Report number 14, this is 6.7, this is the Not So Pro event. Is there a application process permitted to begin? Councilor Scott?
Were there any complaints last year about this? That were,
Nothing,
Detrimental.
nothing that couldn't be worked out. I thought it was a very well-run event last year. I know Councilor Dwyer and Councilor Bonsteel were there quite often, and there's some little tweaking and little changes that we're